Although Creed Aventus released in 2010, it's still one of the most popular fragrances to this day. It's smoky, woody, fresh, and everyone seems to love this scent. However, after many reformulations, dupes, and other flankers, I still really have to wonder if Creed Aventus is worth it in 2026. I'm Mark Smells, and in this video, I'll be talking about if Creed Aventus is worth buying in 2026.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Now, the first issue that I have with this fragrance is that it's really expensive. The 50 ml of this costed me $300 Canadian, which is very steep for a fragrance. On Joma Shop, the 100 ml of this costs around $430 Canadian. Although this fragrance is really good, I do not think it's worth $330. I mainly bought this because this was a fragrance that I've been looking for a very long time now, and it's something that I've always wanted to have in my collection.
I am a robot. I am a robot.
Although Creed Aventus is really good, there are many different fragrances which already have similar DNA to it. One of those fragrances being Montblac Explorer, which is a dupe of Creed Aventus. And now while this is a dupe of Creed Aventus, I don't think they're very similar, and I just think it's its own little thing on the Aventus DNA. I just think it does it very differently. To me, Creed Aventus is very smoky and sweet, but Montblac Explorer on the other hand just smells like straight lemon, almost like lemon cleaner off the top. This also smells very synthetic compared to Creed Aventus. However, I will say in the dry down, it is pretty similar to Creed Aventus. The same can be said for another fragrance called Club de Nuit Intense Man. Now, I've only smelled this fragrance a few times, and I just got straight lemon cleaner from it as well. Some people say that it gets better in the dry down, but I haven't worn it enough to the point where it has been dried down because I've only ever tested it in stores.
Darth Vader versus Adolf Hitler. Begin. I am Adolf.
So while Creed Aventus is a very good scent, there are many other different fragrances which have their own take on the DNA already.
Oh, Mr. Featherface, I love you. Yes.
Another issue that many people bring up about this fragrance is that it has been reformulated a bunch over the years, and batch quality can be very varying. People say the older batches are way more strong and way more pineapple smelling and way more smoky, while the newer batches are way too inconsistent and don't last as long. I have a newer F batch of this stuff, and I like to say that it still lasts me a very long time and I don't get any quality issues with it. I get around 6 to 8 hours of longevity of this stuff, and I think that the projection is pretty good. I'm really not a fragrance snob, so I really don't care about what batch of Creed Aventus I get. I'm just really happy that I get to own this fragrance. Now, I have never smelt one of the OG or older batches of Creed Aventus, so I guess ignorance is bliss, and I just like to think that this scent is really good, and I know this scent is really good.
Oh my god, did that guy just blow up, try to blow me up with a bomb? Was that a terrorist?
Another topic you should take into consideration is that there are many different flankers. There's like 2 flankers of this from the House of Creed already. The Cologne and the Absolu. The Cologne is supposed to be a more lighter take on this, while the Absolu is more darker and rich compared to this. Now, I have never smelt the Cologne or the Absolu, so I can't give my own opinion in this regard. However, online, I've seen stories of people saying that they like the Absolu better than the original Aventus over here, so take that as you will. The Absolu adds cinnamon, nutmeg, and cardamom, so it makes it way more darker and richer compared to the original Creed Aventus. If you're thinking about buying Creed Aventus, you might want to research the Cologne and the Absolu versions first. I'm just going to do this for fun, but let's just spray on Creed Aventus real quick. I really like the atomizer. That is a very net plus of this fragrance. The atomizer is really good.
Yeah.
Off the top, it's very smoky and pineapple-y. I don't know what else to say besides it's really good, because it just is really good. This is an amazing fragrance. I've been wanting to own this fragrance for such a long time now, and I'm really glad and grateful that I get to own it at the price that it is at. Now that it's dried down a little bit more, I mainly just get pineapple, and it is a really good pineapple. It is very realistic, like photorealistic. I really like pineapple as well, so I like to smell like pineapple, I guess. I guess it's just nice to smell like pineapple. Yeah, just very sweet, very nice and mass appealing. You will 100% get compliments on this. After taking all of these factors into consideration, it's finally time to answer if this fragrance is worth it in 2026. I think this fragrance is worth it if you are a collector and want to have Creed Aventus in your collection and are okay with spending over $300 on a fragrance like this. I think you really have to love the scent to buy it, and I really do love the scent. It's so amazing, so I think it's worth it in 2026 for me, at least. If you are the average dude, or you like something that's like Aventus but not Aventus, so like something similar to Aventus, then I don't think it's worth buying, and instead you should just buy something like Montblac Explorer instead, or like the Absolu or the Cologne if you like that. I just think that for the price of this was like $50 or $60, I don't really remember, because I bought this 2 years ago. And I remember saying that like I always wanted Creed Aventus in my collection. And I'm really glad that I got Creed Aventus, so that's why it's worth it for me. But for the average dude, you're just way better off just buying Montblac Explorer and getting something similar. And as I mentioned briefly in that clip, there's also the Cologne and the Absolu, so that might be better to you. So just try smelling everything. Smell everything in this world that's similar to Aventus and make up your own minds. At the end of the day, I'm just a YouTuber, I'm just a guy just having my own opinion, so it's really up to you if it's worth it in 2026. That is really corny, but it's true. Thank you guys for clicking on this video and watching it all the way to the end. I'm Mark Smells, and I'll see you guys in the next one.